What's up? What's up? What's up, my Mind Your Money business family? This is a new page that I just created, and it's something that I've been thinking about doing for quite a while now, but been hesitating because, yeah, just because. Right? But I decided to do a video today, and on this channel, I plan to talk about financing, well, not financing because I'm not a bank, but about finances as a whole, like your savings, your investments, your planning for retirement, all things pertaining to money that I track or that I find informative. That is what I plan to put out on my page. I invest in the stock market, um, outside of my 401k plan. I'm doing fairly well, not fairly well, I'm doing quite well in my investments. So I will be talking about stocks, mutual funds, exchange traded funds, 401k plans, 529 plans for your kids, college funds, becoming debt free. As you can see, the sign behind me, I am debt free. I have no debt. I'm a veteran, retired military. And so on this page, I plan again to talk about all things finances. And so today, what I want to do was read an article that I found very interesting. And I think it's a good article to talk about to kick off uh, my first YouTube video. And it talks about 1 in 5 Americans ages 50 and over have no retirement savings, and over half worry they will not have enough to last in retirement. Like, is that something that you think about? That's why I named my page Mind Your Money Business, because we do not mind our business enough, especially when it comes to our health, our finances. But on this page, I plan to talk about finances. If you want to talk about your health and relationships, that's another page. Go there, wherever they're located, right? But here I plan to talk about money. Um, so, why is it that you guys don't have enough money for retirement? What's the problem? So this article is where I found on AARP on their website, and it was posted earlier this year in April. Um, it says here, Washington, a new AARP survey finds that 20% of adults ages 50 plus have no retirement savings, and more than half, 61%, are worried they will not have enough money to support them in retirement. I find that very interesting that a lot of people, 20% plus, which are some of you that probably will be drawn to the title of this video and who may listen to me talk about it. Why don't you have money? I guarantee, or why don't you have money in savings or just saved for retirement or in a retirement plan? A lot of us are so distracted. There are so many things, that are taking our attention away from what we should be paying attention to, the business that we should be minding, which is our business, our money. Why are we not telling our money where to go? Why are we trying to figure out where it went at the end of each week, each month, and at the end of each year? And then why are you trying to figure out where did it go when you retire? Because it says here, I'm going to read it again. 1 in 5 American ages 50 plus have no retirement savings and worry they will not have enough to last in retirement. So the article goes on to say the findings also reveal a decline in overall sense of financial security among men. So we seem to have the biggest problem. 42% of whom describe their financial situation as fair or poor, up from 34% in the beginning of 2022. However, roughly 40% of men who are regularly saving for retirement believe they are saving enough, compared to just 30% of women. So 40% of men think that they will have enough, and 30% of women say that they will have enough. But what's going on with the 60% of you that don't have enough? You men, that is. What's up with the 70% of you women that don't have enough? Why don't you have enough for retirement? We say, well, we don't save, obviously, right? But we're shopping, because America is a capitalistic society where you have to spend money, you know, it's a place where you spend money. Just think about whenever you watch TV, regular television, right? Say Channel 10 or whatever, your local TV station. Every time, a broadcast comes on or you're watching your favorite TV show, when it goes on break, there's like so many commercials, like 5 minutes of commercials that's selling you something. That's how we make money in America. We're always selling stuff, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with selling products, and there's nothing wrong with you buying products, right? But are you also saving for retirement? Or are you just spending your money and then you get to retirement and then again you're wondering where it went? Because it says here 60% of men are not um, sure of their savings for retirement, and 70% of women are not sure. Okay, it also says every adult in America deserves to retire with dignity and financial security. That is so true. You live in the greatest country in the world, America. That's why people are dying to get into America, right? Because there is no place on earth like it. I just believe and see that most of us are not taking advantage of the opportunities because we have become complacent, we become distracted, and we're not minding our money business. We're too distracted by minding other people's business. We're too distracted trying to, what do they call that? Joneses, trying to live up to the Joneses. Either way, you're trying to do what other people are doing. You're trying to have what other people have. Um, we're in a lot of debt. No, not only is the government in a lot of debt, individual people are also in a lot of consumer debt. We're in over our head in mortgage loans, um, student loan debts, so on and so forth. But what I did is I followed the Dave Ramsey plan, and I became debt free in 2021. So I have no debt. Um, but again, most Americans have not lived outside of America, and most Americans have not traveled outside of America. You do not know what poor is. If you have running water, you have electricity, you have a roof over your head, that is considered rich in some countries. So, yeah, but that's here nor there. Okay, the article also says, yet far too many people lack access to retirement savings options, and this, coupled with higher prices, is making it increasingly hard for people to choose when to retire. That is true. You have a lot of people who are up in age who can retire, but they're choosing not to retire. Things are becoming more expensive. I also believe people are working longer because they did not save enough when they were younger. When we're young, and we have all that energy, we can work 16-hour days and still get up the next morning and work another 16-hour day. That's when you should be creating your plan. But a lot of us, we put in those hours, we make the money, we spend the money, we don't invest the money because that's not taught to us in school. We're taught in school to get good grades, and then when you get good grades, when you get out of high school, you either go into college or you get a job to make money. But never within the curriculum of high school and even college do they talk about investing your money. Maybe if you take a finance class, they may talk about investments and savings, but you know, um, pretty much that's left up to us to figure out when we become adults. And by that time, we're caught up into so many different nuances, problems, situations, kids, families, um, debt. It makes it harder for us to do what needs to be done to prepare for retirement. Okay, the article also says um, every expenses continue to be the top barrier. Oh, everyday expenses continue to be top barrier to savings more for retirement. And some older Americans say that they never expect to retire. Also, let me clear this up and say I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I plan to just report things on my page pertaining to finances, pertaining to stocks that I'm investing in, things that interest me, any changes to, say Social Security, COLA, federal government pay raises, increases, decreases, um, jobs reports, anything that may affect the stock market. Again, anything pertaining to money is what I plan to talk about on my page. And when I talk about it, I'm only giving my opinion because I am not uh, 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 an expert. I couldn't figure out. Yeah, I'm not an expert by any means, right? So I'm only giving my opinion. So it would behoove you to seek out professional advice when it comes to creating your retirement plan, talking to your HR personnel, seek out a financial planner, a tax expert to help you with your taxes, so on and so forth. So yeah. So do your own research. I'm just putting out information and giving my opinion. And some of you may think differently, but um, yeah, I'm not trying to change any minds. I'm just coming on to talk about things that I find very interesting and to get people to mind their business. If you would just focus on yourselves and mind your business, you could improve your situation. But yeah. All right. The article also says nearly one third, 30% of adults who carry over a credit card balance from month to month report carrying a balance of $10,000 or more. I pay my credit card off every month or before the end of the month. Like today is the 15th where I'm located. My credit card is already paid off. I don't carry a credit card balance, right? Debt is the biggest problem for most Americans. Just like debt is the biggest problem for the country, debt is the biggest problem for most Americans. I would say get out of debt. When you can get out of debt, then you can control your money. When you have a lot of debt, it it squeezes you. It makes life seem very small. And so when you do get a little bit of money, you feel like you deserve to spend it or splurge on something. You deserve that trip. You deserve to go purchase those items, even though you don't have much in savings. So, when you're in debt, someone else is controlling you. Like Dave Ramsey says, when you're in debt, you are a slave to the lender. Whoever lent you that money, you are a slave to them. You're a slave to the bank when making your car loan payments, that personal loan payment, that mortgage payment. You're a slave to that institution that gave you the student loans. You're a slave to that person that might have lent you some money that you're paying back. Not slave like you know, 400 years ago slavery. But you're in debt to those people. And who wants to be in debt to someone? You have that that cloud over your head. It's not a good feeling. The article also says while 12% describe their balance as $20,000 or more, up 8% roughly a year ago. Man, so you have 30% of people carrying a balance of $10,000 or more, and you have 12% carrying $20,000 or more. So that's some of you. Some of you that are listening and watching this video is carrying a credit card balance like the one I just spoke of. And when you're carrying a balance, what most people don't realize, like you need to look at your APR. When you're carrying over a balance, you could be paying 18 to 20% interest each month on that balance that's being applied to it. So if you're only making like the minimum $50 payment, that's nothing. It seems like the balance is continuing to increase. And that's pretty much what it's doing, right? If you can't afford it, don't buy it. That's how I live. Okay. Despite this, 33% of respondents ages 50 plus believe their finances will be better 12 months from now, but the lingering effects of inflation and high costs are still apparent. Now, I will say this one thing about inflation: it is coming down, and the Feds will be meeting next week, September 17th and 18th, to talk about interest rates. They're going to be bringing interest rates down, either 25 to 50 basis points. So that will help people a lot, especially when it comes to finance. We need interest rates to come down. Businesses need interest rates to come down so that they can borrow money, because businesses need to borrow money in order to make money. But who wants to pay at a high interest rate? People will be able to go out and, you know, purchase homes at a lower interest rate. They can purchase cars at a lower interest rate, so on and so forth. Okay, it says more than one third, 37%, are worried about covering basic expenses such as food and housing. Like, I would not want to go into retirement at age 65 or 70, 62, 65, or 70. And, I have a mortgage to pay and utilities to still pay for and food. And what if I don't have any money in my 401k? I just have $100,000 in savings, and I have my Social Security. $100,000 in savings can go just like that. If you go into the hospital, you stay in there for, I don't know, a couple of weeks, that may take half of that $100,000 if you choose to pay off your hospital bill. But most people probably won't. They will just pay um, the monthly bill. But again, as we get older, the likelihood of us having to go to the hospital because of a health related issue is higher, right? So, yeah. Okay, more than a quarter, 26%, are worried about covering family caregiving costs. Yeah, like, what type of assistance will you need or your loved one need, when they retire? Do they have enough money to cover those expenses? 7 in 10, 70%, are worried about prices rising faster than their income. And that is true. Like, say inflation was rising, but people left their money in the bank. The bank is only giving you like 0.01% or 0.2% interest on your savings or checking account. But inflation is high. So your money in the bank is actually, you're losing money. That's why a lot of people park their money into CDs in the last couple of years, and in those high yield savings account that was offering 4 to 5%. And I believe currently Americans have about $6 trillion in money market accounts, that are just parked there because the market has been somewhat volatile. It hasn't been great the last year or so. So people park their money in a safe place. And then when things start to go up and up again, they will probably, well, also as interest rates come down, those money market account, they will no longer be able to give you those 4 to 5% interest rates. Those are going to come down as well. So when that starts to come down, people are more than likely going to take that money and invest it into the stock market. At least that's what I plan to do with my money that I have in a money market account. Okay, over a quarter, 26% of people who are not yet retired say they expect to never retire. That can be true because I personally know someone that is, how old is he? Is 77 years old. He's still working. I know someone that is 71 years old. He turned 71 this month, or 72. He retired and came back to work. Um, I know someone else that just recently retired. He was 75. So yeah, I can believe it because most people don't even know how much money they're going to even receive from Social Security. You know that you can go into the Social Security website, ssa.gov, and create an account, and it will show you how much money you're due to receive at the age of retirement: 62, 65, depending upon what age group you're in, or 67, and at age 70, it would tell you. And if you're only going to receive $1,500 in, you know, if they are tracking your current income, because it's based on your current income and how much money you're paying in taxes currently, that's how much they figure you're going to receive from Social Security. And also be advised, your Social Security is still taxed. It's not tax free unless you receive, I think, SSI. If you were medically, um, retired and you're receiving medical, Social Security, I believe that is tax free. But yeah, you can go to ssa.gov, create an account, and you can see how much money you're on track to receive. And again, it's based on your income and how much you're paying in taxes. So some of you may need to go out and find a better job, a higher paying job, so that you can pay more into the system in order to receive more. And some of you need to enroll into your company's 401k plan because many years ago, companies used to give pensions, but then they got tired of paying pensions because they figured, we're going to stop giving these people this money. And so they got this thing. I would have to look it up. But either way, there was a law passed where companies no longer had to pay a pension. And so they started offering 401k plans. But it's up to the individual to enroll into these plans. The companies can't force you. And I believe that there are a lot of people out there working for companies that offer 401k plans, and those companies match um, up to a certain percentage of money that you're putting into these plans, but a lot of people are not even investing into these plans. What I've learned when it comes to stocks, investing into the stock market and into 401k plan, most people think that it's harder than what it really is, and it's not that hard. It's not that complicated. You just continue to put your money into these things, into these assets that are good growth assets. You pretty much your dollar cost averaging in every month if you have a certain percentage of your income being invested every month. And then there's compound interest on top of that money that you're putting in. And over time, that's how you create more and more wealth, not this overnight success type thing. I think fast money is not good money, but money and success or income that you create over time, you learn how to manage it, and then you can create a good product and a good foundation for yourself moving forward into the future. Okay, so the article, this isn't a long article, so I won't be reading too much more, talking too much, because I have been talking a lot so far. Oh, only 22 minutes. Okay, so it says America is facing a serious retirement crisis. AARP has a long history of supporting legislation to expand access to retirement savings, but Congress must act more swiftly to provide the financial support older Americans need and deserve, said Nancy Lehman, AARP Executive Vice President and Chief Advocacy and Engagement Officer. But here's the thing, like they're saying Congress needs to do something, right? And what I have noticed, what the rich has done, they created these programs like the stock market, like the 401k plan. And because we're not educated on these programs like they educate us how to become just workers from, from preschool up until, through college, they don't teach us anything about finances. They don't teach us anything about investments and how it all works and how you can create wealth for yourself and even generational wealth. But that is something that a lot of us, including myself, had to learn on my own. So, like AARP, this executive is saying Congress needs to do something, right? That's why, again, I named this page Mind Your Money Business. People need to mind their business. People need to focus more on themselves. Stop allowing themselves to be, or their minds and their thoughts to be so distracted on other things. Like people watch the news religiously. They get upset, easily. They're triggered. They feel, they're made to feel a certain type of way about things that they have no control over. They're made to feel a certain type of way about people they don't know. Right? Pull that energy back. Pull your attention back on yourself and focus on yourself. It's going to be hard. Trust me, it's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy, but you have to mind your money business, people. Okay, we AARP is saying we have worked with 19 states to create programs to make it easier for people whose employers don't offer a retirement plan to be able to save their save for their future. But about two-thirds of states have yet to act, and we await action from the federal government. Like I said, states aren't even preparing people. If you're so distracted and you're not paying attention to your situation, it's your fault. See, like AARP is trying to get Congress to act. AARP is saying that they have worked with 19 states to create programs to make it easier for people, whose employers don't offer any type of retirement. I've listened to the Dave Ramsey program. I've learned so much. It's like we need to figure out what needs to be done for ourselves. You can't wait for Congress. You can't wait for, governors and state officials to make decisions that are going to benefit you. They can't. They can't. They can't make decisions that are going to benefit everyone because you will not, satisfy every person. You just won't. You may satisfy one group, and then there's going to be another group that finds a problem, or a couple of people, or a few people that don't like that decision. So we all have to do it ourselves. You have to mind your business, focus on yourselves, figure it out. Like you don't have to. If your company doesn't offer a 401k plan, you can create your own IRA. You can, traditional or Roth. You can create your own plan. And if you don't know how to create your own plan, you can Google financial planner, in the state of Mississippi or Georgia, Colorado, Utah, Washington State. You can Google those individuals. They're out there, right? The internet is a great tool. Technology is a great tool if we use it properly, right? So the information is out there. We're just not seeking it because we don't know that it needs to be sought out. And we don't realize it until like these people who are 50 plus or, you know, who don't think that they have enough to retire. They're 60, they're in their 60s, they're in their 70s, and they're still not able to retire. And that's not a good feeling because when you're older, your body's tired, you've been working all your life, maybe, you know, the last thing you want to be doing is getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go clock in at the age of freaking 70 if you don't want to. Now if those of you that choose to do it, then do it. But then I believe that there are a lot of people that don't want to, but they do it because they have to. Okay. It also says Americans are 15 times more likely to save for retirement when they have access to a workplace plan. That is true. I believe that is true. Especially if those companies automatically enroll you into their 401k plans. I don't know, if that happens or not, but I do know in the federal government, we are automatically enrolled into the 401k plan, and it's up to us to increase, our monthly input. Dave Ramsey suggests that you invest at least 15% of your income into your 401k plan. And when you become debt free, max it out. Like currently, you can invest up to 23,000 into your 401k plan. And if you own a business, you can invest even more if you create, I believe it's called a SEP IRA account. Google it, look it up. If you own a business, based upon how much money you're making is how much percentage of a certain percentage that can be placed into your business account. You know, so again, do your research or talk to a professional uh, financial planner. It also says Congress is currently considering different pieces of legislation that would expand retirement security, including the Bipartisan Retirement Savings for Americans Act of 2023, which would provide retirement savings account to eligible workers without employer sponsored retirement plans, and the Automatic IRA Act of 2024. I guarantee you there are a lot of you that know nothing about these plans. These things that I just read off, you know nothing about it. I mean, you know about, whatever actor, you know, did this, or whatever musician did that, or whatever Christian person did this, or whatever they show in the local news. But this type of information, Only when you seek it is when you will find it. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But when you're distracted and you're paying attention to the same old type of rhetoric or information on a day to day basis, when you watch your local news, uh, this information you're not going to pay attention to. And the interesting thing is, the information is out there for you to take advantage of, right? Okay, 8 states have auto IRA programs up and running, and that's California, Colorado, Connecticut, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Oregon, and Virginia, while Massachusetts has a multiple employer plan in place. 10 other states have passed legislation and are at various stages of implementation, including Washington, where auto IRA legislation was signed into law last month. And that's the crazy thing. They're going to have to create this auto program just to enroll people into some type of retirement plan because they won't do it themselves. However, they will march, they will post on social media, they will, complain, um, they will procrastinate, but they won't do what needs to be done for themselves. So now Congress is trying to work with creating these automatic programs just to ensure that you will have some type of retirement savings, because Social Security will not be enough, and they may be doing this because they're talking about Social Security coming up short in the next maybe 10, 15 years. I have to look up the article or look up the information, but yeah, they've been talking about that for a while. um, so yeah. um, and then it also gives a link in this article about to view the full financial security trends survey, and you can go to this financial trends link. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. um, the quality of this video, I'm not sure how it is because this is a freaking camera that is on my computer, and I don't know how well it's going to show. So yeah, but my plan is to do a video every day. Like, I do have a Facebook page and I have a group, and I told them that I plan to create a YouTube page. I may stop talking or posting on my group page on Facebook and only post here. And on that page, I talk about the stock market every day. I get up every morning after the stock market, because when the stock market closes, it's the next day here. It's morning time. It's like 6:30 in the morning. It's 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's when the market closes. I get ready for work. I look at the market. I look at the stocks that I invest in, and that's what I talk about on my group page on Facebook. And that page is called Mind Your Money Business as well. Um, and I talk about stocks. I talk about Nvidia. I talk about AI. I talk about the S&P 500. I talk about information technology, ETFs. I talk about Broadcom. I talk about Serve Robotics. I talk about Apple, Amazon, all the big name companies, right? I talk about a lot of things. I talk about the reports that come out, the jobs report, the inflation report, uh, the CPI reports, and that is what I also plan to talk about on this page. And I hope that you will come along with me on this journey, because I don't know everything, but I have realized, and I'm noticing that because I am paying attention on a daily basis on the stock market and how these different reports affect it, I am learning a lot. And I believe by posting videos every day, it also forces me to do research, to, analyze all information and then make a decision. So whatever I talk about here, again, it's just my opinion. It may differ from yours. It doesn't make you wrong. It doesn't make me right. It doesn't make me right. It doesn't make you wrong. I said the same thing. You know what I mean, right? So yeah. Again, I'm just giving my opinion. So, So keep coming back, and hope not. Well, I hope, yeah, keep coming back. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Talk about the things that I'm talking about. Share your thoughts and your opinions as well. And yeah, let's just continue to mind our money business and create the foundation that we can stand on for ourselves, our families, generations afterwards. You know, and most importantly, knowledge. All right, so you guys take care. Peace, and thanks for watching.